We're on. We're good.
Yes, hello everyone. Welcome along to the Elfin Sports Centre here in Launceston. It is the grand final in the men's competition of the BTAS State League. Penguin taking on the Burnie Tigers. Ron Riggs, Justin Bryan alongside you here. JB, we've finally reached our final game of the season. And what a game to have on tap today.
A massive game. One of the biggest rivalries in the NWBU comes to a head at the end of the season as the Burnie Tigers take on the Penguin 2 Blues. We watched the Tigers yesterday stick to their structure like there was no tomorrow and get a nice close win and a very entertaining, in fact, a Game of the Year candidate, Ronnie, in Burnie versus the Southern Wolves. They got the win there. Meanwhile, Penguin absolutely trounced the Glenorchy Spartans. And Penguins waddle, but there was no waddling about the way they dealt with the Spartans yesterday, convincing 30-plus point winners. And they have more than earned their right to be in this final. It's going to be an interesting matchup. Two vastly different squads, but two very well-drilled squads. I can't wait. Absolutely. And now speaking to a few of the patrons from Penguin, and Fraser Eden's granddad, he was telling me that the boys were joking around with Fraser this morning as they've heard the commentary call from us and saying apparently about getting a little bit more bigger in the gym. No, he's jacked.
He's jacked, the boy.
He's jacked. He's ripped.
Apparently Zach White gave him some advice on that as well too. So it was very interesting to hear from Fraser's granddad.
I did have a nice little conversation with Zach passing in the hallways here at the Elfin Sports Centre, and he did let me know that he personally had cut up a couple of clips and put into their WhatsApp or their group chat, so they're very happy. Oh, Benny Jessup throws one down in practice, and yeah, so Penguin are very up and about. They're very much good to go, but again, Ronnie, I do wonder, we had a scenario in our game just gone.
Yes.
Does it hurt the fact that Penguin had such a breeze of a game yesterday to the fact they're taking on the Burnie Tigers, who had a very tough game, a hard-fought game, probably the game of the year, certainly in the State League, that's for sure. How do they go? How do they combat that? How do they, stay on the fact that they've gone from this relaxed type of game to now they're going up against, as Jacob Richards jams himself on the rim. But, Burnie, as we mentioned, tough game. I'm not saying they're the favourite. I'm just saying that I don't think it's going to hurt their case that they had a nice, tight game. We'll see how they go. But on the contrary to that, a much younger squad are the Burnie Tigers. Their average age, outside of Joe Chilcott and Brad Simpson, is not even old enough to go to the movies by himself, Ronnie. They are a very, very young team, but they play their roles. They are exceptional with their roles, and we've had the privilege of watching them quite a few times now over State League. They are a well-drilled, well-structured team that do not deviate on either side of the floor from their structure. Offensively, defensively, they just stick with it. They stick fat. They're not worried about things at all. Penguin, well, we know about Penguin. Penguin have been the standard bearer as a CAM association. People are probably sick of us dribbling on, but it's a fact. Penguin has been the CAM association of Tasmania for a decade now, providing NWBU championships men and women, State League championships men and women, and producing players, that are coming down and playing in the South as well, that have played Northwest Thunder, that have played Chargers. They are a standard bearer of basketball. Mal Beveridge has drilled this team consistently. He's giving them a game plan that suits their shooting abilities. They're all energetic players. And I reckon, based on how emotional and physical the game was yesterday with the Spartans, and that was just a semi-final, I'd be very interested to see just how physical and intimidating it potentially gets against a young Burnie side. Absolutely.
Now, last time Burnie won the State League title, and of course the Tim Leadham Shield they are playing forward too, by the way, JB. 2015 was the last time Burnie won, and of course we only have to go back to last year for the Penguin Blues, who won, and of course they won it again. They won it again in 2017 and 2018, narrowly lost out in 2019 to obviously Launceston, who won it that year. And then, so in the last 4 years, they've won the last 3 out of the last 4, which just goes to show their dominance in this league.
Yeah, they are a team to beat. It's just as simple as that. Just quickly seeing our good friend from the Hobart Chargers, the chairman, as he likes to be called, Brett McKay, just getting a nice little shine here on our alternate monitor.
Yes.
With games happening down the south.
Absolutely.
But yes, it's going to be very interesting to see just how this one will play out. As you mentioned there, Penguin, having won 3 of the last 4 state titles. Burnie, I don't think many people pick them to be exactly where they are. They have a lot of elite young talent. So I don't think anyone's shocked about, the talent and the depth of their squad. But I think just age, I think probably a few people were doubting them, so to speak, as to how effective that age was going to be and what that was going to mean. But it's going to be interesting.
It will be. Starting 5s here for both sides. Zach White, Mason Bragg, Joel Beveridge, Jacob Richards and Fraser Eaton for Penguin.
The rig, look at it.
Yes.
He's jacked.
I will message Fraser later on today about that. Meanwhile, Cho Chilcott, French, Simpson, Downey and Furphy. We are underway in the 2021 Men's State Grand Final. Coming to you from the Elfin Sports Centre. And Penguin have controlled the tip. And out of ball with Eaton here. And he decides to fire. And why not Fraser Eaton? He decides to go bang. First possession of the ball game.
Very nice. And what have we got called there?
And a quick foul on Mason Bragg, who was really up and in on Eli French.
Yeah, we're just going to have a little clock adjustment there. And that is one thing these young Burnie guards are going to experience. They have Mason Bragg. They have Joel Beveridge. They have Ambrose Euxter. Gusta Euxter. I know they're pronouncing it 500 different ways.
Yes.
I don't think anyone actually says it right.
No, that's right. And Ambrose doesn't mind us going with whichever suits us.
Fraser Eaton as well. So it's going to be a learning experience here. We'll see how Burnie handle it.
All right, so Downey with it. Now he's Furphy.
Where's Rick Fontaine?
Well, I've been told he is coming, so he's there. Chilcott rejected there. And now ball with Penguin as they come up the floor here quickly. Now Bragg puts up the runner and off glass, gets it to go.
There's a high energy about this Penguin team right now. 5-0 started in the first minute. Sam Pulford still assessing things for his Tigers.
So Simpson, now Furphy, ball getting moved around his shoehorn. And now French putting it to the floor. Downey here at the 45. Now Simpson at that low corner, yes.
Yeah, nice little shot there by Brad Simpson. He had a massive task yesterday with Ollie Angusteen. A different task here. Zach White, one of the perennial defenders of this league. Going to be a good challenge.
Absolutely. Bragg into Beveridge from downtown, just long on the back iron.
And that would have been
And a technical foul is now being called. It's going to be assessed on either Bragg or Beveridge here. So it's going to be on Mason Bragg.
And that's his second foul. So that does throw a spanner in the works within the first.
It does. So Mason Bragg having a bit to say here very early on and unfortunately has resulted in a technical foul.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the conversation was. I was going back to the fact that there was high energy at the moment on this Penguin bench, and then the tee comes up. So maybe that'll quell some emotion in this game.
And they're keeping Mason Bragg out, so obviously Mal Beveridge trusting his veteran guard here.
If you are Burnie, though, you are attacking Mason Bragg.
Absolutely.
He is a player that if you can get good pass.
Simpson down low and gets the 2 to go after White tried to swipe that one away.
Yeah, doing very nicely there. We've got Burnie, Penguin and Launceston on the board now. I thought there were 2 short 2s. I thought the scoreboard should be 5-4.
We'll sort that out. Meanwhile, Fraser Eaton once again from downtown.
Fraser Eaton has gone bang, massive basket there by Fraser Eaton. Back-to-back baskets from deep.
He is on fire and he's hit his first couple, so look out. Meanwhile, ball got deflected. Bragg off and running. Gets the layup there. And 10-5 start here as we're only ticked in 2 minutes of play. French up. Can't get it to go. Richards with the rebound.
So back and forth action here by the 2 Blues. Let's see what they can do. Just run into a couple of sets here and, maintain and compose on that energy.
So Charlton Beveridge looking to check in very shortly. Eaton now, here's Joel Beveridge. So Beveridge putting it to the floor. Wraparound pass into Richards for the 3. Can't get that to go either. Good rebound by Downey as we come back down the floor here for the Tigers.
Tell you what, this is good energy by these young fellas at Burnie. They wanted a reaching foul there, not paid. Zach White's a little ginger though.
Downey rejected by Richards. Get that out of here, he says. Substitution. Charlton Beveridge coming in for Zach White and Nick Draper going to address the score bench or Sam Pulford. So he's addressed both. So Sam Pulford asked a question there. Nick Draper gave the answer. Now we're just quickly adjusting time here on the clock. So we're just getting that rectified, but an entertaining start already, JB.
Great energy.
You can feel it all around here.
Yep, a very entertaining start to this quarter, Ronnie, and it's good to see that everyone is locked on to this one as well as we just get some confirmation there that no, we do not have any microphones floating.
I don't think Marie wants to be. Meanwhile,
We'll let Marie-
Downey for 3. Oh, no, don't tempt her.
No, we're going to let Marie have a listen. She likes having a bit of a
does
listen.
she? Okay.
Gets to hear the commentary
So
live.
Bragg here, who picked. Now that's an offensive foul.
And that's his third foul.
So that's 3 personals, and that will send Bragg to the bench and Ambrose Augusta. So he picked up that technical early, and that's backfired to a degree there.
Early technical and 2 personal fouls. I'm no genius at maths, and one would argue I'm no genius in general. Definitely 3 fouls there. And we're going to need a towel sauce. So Marie, you might be out of here.
You might be action. There we go, lovely. This is the quickest I've ever seen Marie go.
And she was a ref, so probably. Oh no, hello, we're off again.
No, we're off. Oh no.
Although now we've got a towel boy now, so that's all right.
That's Isaac there, who was with us last night on our table at the dinner.
And he was a very unwell young man. I heard too many cans of Coke for the young fella at the dinner last
apparently
night.
so. Meanwhile, Chilcott over Richards, yes.
Yeah, that's nice physical basketball here, backwards and forwards by both Burnie and Penguin. I just noticed we've got some scoreboard issues there, Ronnie.
Yes, we're saying Penguin and Launceston on the top of your screen, and so we'll rectify it. Eaton goes up, can't get it to go. Augusta can't get it to go. Ball flying around everywhere for the slips, Gordon. Now Eaton with it. Getting that on ball from Richards. Eaton goes once again. Oh, it's so close to by Fraser Eaton.
He's already got 2 big threes.
Up the floor to Chilcott. Chilcott, crafty finish.
And you can hear this crowd in it right now.
Yes.
You know, very high energy, as we mentioned, one of the biggest rivals on the coast.
Absolutely. It's a strong rivalry up on the northwest, and glad we get to see it in front of our eyes because we don't get to see many inter-town rivalries. That is for sure. Augusta from the top of the key knocks that one down.
Yeah, nice combination there by Ambrose. And again, as we mentioned, he plays that different role with the Chargers, but he is capable of scoring.
Absolutely. Now, Chilcott here at the corner. Can't get that to go. Beveridge with the rebound. And now Eden, as we come back up the floor here, we've just ticked on 4 minutes in this first quarter.
It's been interesting as Eaton wants to attack the lane ball movement.
Augusta from deep. Yes, Ambrose Augusta finding his range early here, JB.
I'll tell you what, if you're an elite shooter in Tasmania and you want to play for a team that's going to let the ball go fly, Penguin is your team.
Absolutely. I think we've had Marie down, I think.
Yeah, we do. That's good.
Yeah. Now, ball down low into Furphy, rejected by Richards. Furphy goes for seconds, can't get that to go either. Beveridge off and running as Augusta in support, uses him, nearly coughed it up. Able to retreat it out. Now here's Richards cutting his way through nicely for a 2.
Tell you what, I can hear Torrey October through my headsets. He is having a fair bit of yap down there and a lot of energy as well. But Penguin really bringing it at the moment. They're up by 8.
Absolutely. An electrifying start here by the Penguin Blues. And Burnie just finding their way into this ball game. French for 3. That didn't look good from our angle. And now that's a foul on Simpson as Beveridge goes down on the floor. No,
hello.
Is it on?
Is it on Joel Beveridge?
It's on Beveridge, actually. My apologies, folks.
He's actually a little ginger here.
And timeout has been called. We'll take a deep breath here. It's Penguin 17. We will sort that, yes. We've just had a court answer.
That's a good announcement. There won't be any scores until it's fixed. Well, that was a very predetermining factor.
So right now we think Penguin is up, aren't we, JB? Yes.
Yeah, I would assume so.
Yes.
Can you check the scores?
Yeah. Oh, yes, we've got.
Scores on the iPad for us, please.
You've got Marie up. There you go.
Oh, do I? So, whoops.
It's all right. No, that's all right.
No, you're right. You're right. Don't worry. Lots happening here in the central commentary position as we've got Marie working out who's up.
No, you're right. It doesn't matter. That's cool. We've had rain in we've had rain on the camera. We've had everything.
Had everything today.
Unbelievable stuff.
Absolutely.
But it has been a great day of basketball action. As you can see, we're getting things sorted here at the moment. So our points and our fouls are going up. We have not adjusted the Penguin Launceston side of things, I do not think. We're just getting everything sorted where we need to. Scores are correct, yes. So 9-17 is definitely our score. Penguin are leading this one, despite the fact it says Launceston.
So are they on the wrong side? That's my query now. Are they just on the wrong side?
Oh, so I think what they're doing, Ronnie, is that, it's the same if you're on the left-hand side of the bench or on the left-hand side of the scoreboard.
Yep.
So they're just going to get their points and fouls sorted on that. That's a technical issue that's easily rectified.
Yes, so they'll keep working on that. Meanwhile, Chilcott pulls up and can't get that to go. So rebound Richards as we come back down the floor here. Now Beveridge. Eaton, who's had a good first quarter at the moment, knocked down a couple of triples for us.
And of course, the big story at the moment is Mason Bragg. Was that one?
Yes, Mason Bragg on 3 fouls, JB, and picked up a technical early for maybe just having a bit too much information.
Yeah, he likes communicating his opinion very strongly there, Mason, and sometimes it's a wee bit too strong.
Yes, you're not wrong there, JB, that is for sure.
Other story there too, Zach White has ice on that calf and that is wrapped.
Okay, meanwhile, Richards with the putback on a miraculous shot there.
No, I believe that was a pass.
That's pass?
I actually think he was aiming to pass that.
Okay.
That's what we're giving him credit for.
Righto, we'll give him an assist. Meanwhile, Furphy here. Now Chilcott, ball getting moved around. French needs to work out what he needs to do. Decides to go to Downey here. Downey finding his way through. Nice inside pass into Simpson, who gets that one to rattle home. Mal Beveridge wanted a 3-second call, but referee Nick Draper not seeing it that way.
Yeah, 3-second call was what we were asking about Taylor Roberts in the first game. She was in and out of that one there, but Brad Simpson looked like he'd spent a bit of time in. Igusta working his way through. Richards puts it to the floor. Richards goes up, rejected by Chilcott and Furphy at the same time. Maynard up and about there, Lockie Brewer, I should say. Yes, Lockie Brewer, who was involved with Burnie, but not in the State League, of course, is here as a bit of a supporter. Yeah, he's played some good basketball throughout the State League, and good to see him supporting his home club. Absolutely. Igusta with some moves of himself. Meanwhile, Beveridge decides to go for it and missed everything. French with the rebound as we come back down the floor. Tigers trailing by 8. Here's Chilcott into Furphy and travel first as Jacob Furphy just shuffled the feet there first before contact. Yeah, a little bit of nerves there, I would say. It's good to see him. Substitution being made. It is Keenan Johnson coming in for Brad Simpson. So Burnie going very small ball at the moment. Tallest out there will probably be Furphy and Chilcott. Yeah, I'd probably say it's Chilcott. But I reckon you're going to see Furphy play the 5 and Joe play the 4. Yeah, is what it usually would be here now. That will be a foul on French there for a bit of hand check. Frenchie's not afraid to have a bit of a chat there, mind you. And something tells me that Mr. Beveridge is going to be in kind to return his services. Yes. Well, we expect this to be a physical battle, JB. And yeah, it's, as we said, NWBU, intertown rivalry. So Beveridge here at the corner. Now Richards. Now Igusta low. Joel Beveridge for 3. Tell you what, that was another errant shot. The jumper has not been on for Joel Beveridge. No, but when he's been on song, JB, we know he could just knock it down like no tomorrow. I wonder whether there were any beverages last night. Meanwhile, French here trying to split through a couple. Puts up the runner. Thank you, JB. The ball gets last touched. That is going back to Penguin. And Penguin again, they're just swarming here at the moment, and with the jack jumpers running around as well. Yes, on our alternative monitor. And they are trailing the Bullets now, 53-57. Meanwhile, Penguin lead this one 19-11. Yes. Yes, early stages here, first quarter, of course. We've just ticked on over 7 minutes. Now Fraser Eaton once again. Ooh. 2 pieces of the rim without success. And then Chilcott did well on the rebound there. Now quickly up the floor here. Chilcott once again. Nice pass in the Furphy. Can't get that 2 to go. Good work by Augusta. Now Eaton bringing the ball here. Trying to look for his options. Goes to Jalen Beveridge for 3. Can't get that to go. Oh, that's a bit of a whack. Foul. That's pretty obvious from where we're all looking. Yeah, very obvious indeed. And I do wonder whether there was Nick. He had to throw some caution to the wind there. Any more aggression, and we probably would have seen an unsporty. Possibly, JB. So club to the head isn't legal in most sports. No. So Eli French will go to the line for 2. He's battled very hard, this young lad, and has got a well-deserved reward by being in state sides and. Now playing in the senior Burnie team in the NWBU and also in the under-22 competition as well. So really great to see young Eli
progressing his game.
Makes the
Burnie.
second. So Burnie just trailing by 7 here. 2.5 minutes remaining in the first term, and it's been a mixed bag here in this first quarter.
Certainly has, JB, and we'll look forward to the quarter-time wrap-up here. Augusta extra pass into Beveridge. So Beveridge looking at Richards here. Goes to him now. So Richards, again, good options here for the Penguin Blues. Beveridge puts it to the floor. Richards needs to put up with 2 on the shot clock. Can't get the roll.
Bodies everywhere.
Absolutely. Augusta saved it. Now Beveridge. Richards spin move. Can't get it to go. Augusta with another O board. Richards this time, no. And now another board here for the Tigers.
Yeah.
It has been a grit of nutrition here.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just backwards and forwards here. I think Penguin just need to worry about the basketball.
And now it's going to be a foul on Joel Beveridge for the hold.
Yeah, he's calling the hold first before the hook. He's saying, believe there, Nick's saying that he initiated the contact with the arm, which is where the wrap actually came from.
So Brad Simpson will go to the line for 2. So that's a third personal for Joel Beveridge.
So that's 2 of the lead guards for Penguin now in foul trouble. Meanwhile, Zach White's still off with a calf injury, not on the main part of the bench, and not looking like he's going to take any part in the near future in this one.
Yes, so interesting. Yeah, this is an interesting opening first quarter right now. Just as we build this story up as we get to a conclusion later on in this game, JB.
Simpson makes the second one there, and I just think Penguin need to shut their mouths a little bit here and just not worry about the attitude. You know, they're winning the game and they're playing good basketball. Let that serve your purpose first.
Yep, no, well said. Beveridge, now Eaton here once again. Goes to Augusta here for the corner for 3. Can't get that to go. 3 for the rebound. And Joel Beveridge tapped that one out, so Burnie to get it back.
Just minute 18 remaining here, and yeah, you just sense that both sides have settled a little bit here. They've had their track meet, and now they just want to get through some sets.
Yes, Burnie trailing by 5. Now Chilcott, he's French here at the top of the key, looking for Furphy here. Go inside to Chilcott, one-on-one with Beveridge. That vintage fadeaway by Joe Chilcott, we've seen time over time, JB.
Yeah, time over time. And that vintage Mustaka that's going with it as well.
Absolutely, he's doing a fantastic job with that in the month of November. Meanwhile, Richards down low, kick out Eden, Beveridge. Now, Rich, one too many and a foot violation to save it all.
Yeah, no, that's the correct call there.
So 42.1 remaining, 14 left on the shot clock. Both teams really trying to encourage each other here as Chilcott gave a clap to his team. Just let them know we're still with this.
Yeah, and it's only early, and again, you know, Burnie haven't deviated from this structure on both ends of the floor. It's, you know, they stick with it regardless.
Richards for 3.
Jeez,
that missed everything.
We're going to need some new backboards if they throw any more bricks at them at this rate.
French into Simpson and then weren't able to hold it. Now Augusta will slow this one down. Game clock and shot clock, about a 2-second differential here.
They need to attack the rim here, Penguin. We'll get to the line to finish. We'll get a nice uplifting basket.
So look like we're going to 1-4 flat here for Augusta. So puts it to the floor. Screen action from Eaton. Now Richards here. Back to Augusta. Richards. Now Eaton to finish this one off on the shot clock buzzer. Not there. 30 for a quarter time buzzer beater. It hit the support system. Quarter time here at the Elfman Sports Centre in what was an entertaining first quarter and a lot of up and about by both teams. Penguin lead it by 3, 19-16.
Penguin led it by 3, but I do just feel that Burnie's in a similar situation they were yesterday, Ronnie. They're just starting to control this one. Physically, they're they're battling it backwards and forwards here with the Penguin boys. Mentally, they're sticking the game with it. I mean, they've dragged Bragg into a technical and some foul issues as well. You've also got the other side of things with their structure. They're not going away from it. They're sticking to it. You know, they're not relying on one person to do all the scoring. They're balancing that as nicely as they can. Meanwhile, for Penguin, you know, your concerns, the fouls, that's pretty simple. Mason Bragg with 3, not a great look. Joel Beveridge with 3, not a great look. And an even worse look is down on that bench there with Zach White and the ice around the calves. So, you know, I think Burnie probably have the upper hand here. You know, 2 of the leading guards, you know, they're not winning on the scoreboard, but 2 of the leading guards have foul trouble. Both known to have the ability to speak
Yeah.
actively, we will call it.
Yes.
And I just feel that if that keeps pushing forward, then it could be interesting. Meanwhile, Burnie, they're being very disciplined. Pulford's got them in the right frame of mind and on the right structure. But, I mean, we can't doubt Penguin either. They do have this ability within a 2-minute span to break a game wide open. So we will see how it goes. But even though the scoreboard says Penguins in front, I just feel Burnie in a similar situation to where they were last week. Probably somewhat got a nice little grip on this, and the game's being dictated on their terms.
Absolutely. It certainly is, JB. So, good crowd in here for the state final as well too, JB. It's nice to see a good spread of supporters, and of course we've got some supporters around us, around our commentary area as well too. So, been a really good weekend as far as, having lots of people come through. There was some good games on yesterday. Everyone had fun last night. Now we're back here today. We saw a good grand final in the women's.
Had lots of fun last night.
Yes, yes, JB, thank you. But yeah, no, fantastic weekend of hoops, that is for sure. So, Burnie to restart us here as both teams are ready to go. So we'll let the clock run out and reset to 10. Okay. Jack Jumpers trail by 5 there, I'm seeing.
50-odd seconds remaining.
There you go. All right, we'll move along.
We'll be doing some work for them during the week, Ronnie, for the NBL Blitz.
Yes, the work never stops around us, JB. We will be helping out, that is for sure. Johnson with it. Now here's French as Burnie gets us restarted. French fought about it and then had to turn that one down. Now Johnson here on the cut, run down to real estate. And good pressure there by the Penguin Blues.
Yes, no, got caught up on that baseline there. Good pressure there by Penguin. And I'll see how composed they are when they start this one. Mason Bragg with 3 fouls.
Yes.
But he is an attacking player, so he's not going to change his game. And French will be a pest to him as he needs to.
Yes, it certainly will be. So we'll see what happens. Augusta now Eaton. So even thinking about it. Airbridge, Richards. Now Penguin making their cuts. Bragg open for 3. Just long on that one. Richards should get it and does.
Yeah, second chance opportunity here. They've got to capitalise, though, the two Blues.
So Bragg puts it to the floor, goes up with that runner. Drew to foul on French.
Yeah, armbar on the hip. That's an easy call to make. I do think that the contact was accentuated. I do feel that there was an extra little hop, skip and a jump there by Bragg, but he was riding the hip. The contact was there.
Bragg still asking the question on something else. So
you're at the foul line. What do you have a question for? You're at the foul line. You got the call. Just stand there and take your shots.
I think it's just some mind games, JB, as far as I'm concerned, trying to work refs over.
There's the great man
Rick
right
Fontaine.
there. We'll get him up here very shortly.
We'll get him up shortly for a bit of a chat.
That is a man that's walking with swagger that I had before last night.
Oh, here we go. Don't you start. Chilcott here now to Simpson as we roll along.
We are rolling along. They're getting physical again, the boys.
So Furphy down low here. He's got battle against Eaton. Goes up. Nice work by Jacob Furphy.
Very nice battle indeed there. The physical side of things, that went really nicely for Furphy. That'll be a good mental battle and a good little mental win as well.
Burnie trail it by 2 now. 20 plays 18 here at the Elfin Sports Centre.
Launceston royalty rolling into the commentary.
Yes, we'll make sure we give him proper introduction in a minute. Turnover made. Johnson off it, and an unsportsmanlike foul will be assessed. The Burnie fans are happy about that. It's going to be assessed on Jacob Richards, and under the criteria, that is an unsportsmanlike foul.
It is an unsportsmanlike.
And we talked about that yesterday, JB, about the intent's there, but it's the action.
Yeah, it's definitely the action indeed. We talk about this all the time that, it's not necessarily, sometimes it's the action, sometimes it's the intent, but I mean, it's clear there. If you're not making a clean play on the ball, it's an unsportsmanlike foul.
Yeah, and that's just the way the game is now being called these days. And again, as I mentioned yesterday, the European style play has brought that foul in. So there you go. Johnson can't make his second free throw, so now it's a point the difference here. As we welcome in from, you can see him on Talking Sport Tasmania every Friday night. He's the host and the owner.
Just twist your mic up there.
He's Rick Fontaine. Hello, Rick.
Hello, boys.
Hello, mate.
Nice to be. It's hard to know where to look. You've got this gadget in front of you.
we had another little monitor going for Saturdays in the springtime yesterday as well, so it's a sporting haven.
What a day for basketball.
A great day for basketball.
Foul on the play here. It's going to be on Ambrose Augusta. Mal Beveridge not happy down below us here, lads.
Now, I'm just having a look. Number 20 taker. That is only Ambrose
That's
first.
Ambrose first.
He did foul out yesterday, of course.
He did. So
there's no tremendous day for basketball, Rick. We've had a coaching clinic. We've had our women's grand final, which Penguin won convincingly over Launceston, and now the Northwest Basketball Union, one of their better rivalries in Burnie and Penguin, taking on one another here.
Chilcott from
Bang!
That is from Burnie itself by Joe Chilcott.
That was a massive shot there. That's Brianna Russell range we've been calling it this weekend.
Yes, Brianna Russell's been knocking down some threes, that is for sure. Bragg into Beveridge and gets the 2 to go. We'll keep Rick on for our time broadcast if he wants to stay for the entire length. Then he can just throw in some comments left, right, centre for us. So Chilcott, now Johnson, who's I've been impressed with. Good hands by Eaton.
Nice fast start, isn't it, this game?
Yeah.
Eden and Johnson just having some words to each other there too, and a little bit of a puff by Eaton.
And I noticed Nick Draper, he probably got away. Nick just letting him slide there.
Yes.
So, yeah, again, the emotional connection with these two teams, the NWBU coming forward, and we've got a foul call here.
Foul on the play. That's going to be on Beveridge.
So that will be his first foul.
And Sam Pulford's going to call a timeout here, which will give us a good opportunity to let Rick have a bit of airtime with us here.
There's actually, I would argue with anyone that in sport in Tasmania, there is no better rivalry than the Northwest Coast. They are very passionate about their sport down there. They love their sport. They support sport, I think, better than the south and north per capita in terms of spectators.
Not even close.
And it's good. Obviously, a few of them, a few locals here, but a lot of people have come up from the Bass Highway today, which is great as well. No doubt. How many are down in Hobart there? Obviously,
it's a sellout, as we mentioned on Talking Sport the other night, Rick.
Well, great incentive that it's free of charge. That helps to sell it out.
Yes, thanks.
But it's a big day for basketball, but great weekend here, and it's good to be here. The weather's foul outside at the moment.
It was raining threes before, and then our cameraman thought he was having a trip. It was actually raining through the gap, so right over the top of the camera. So, no, it's a good day to be inside. They've chocked open one of those doors, so the breeze is a little bit nippy, but no,
you'd be used to it from down south. So.
Yes, absolutely,
absolutely.
No, it's been good, and Elfin is one of those. It is a multi-use centre, but the ability to actually ramp up where the show courts are in this building just makes it so much more dynamic for basketball.
It's going to get plenty of work in the next couple of weeks too, isn't it, with the Blitz here, the Silver Dome being unavailable. So hopefully it stands up well and it doesn't rain and we get leaks. So.
Joe Chilcott with another triple, and Burnie take the lead here, 25-22.
He's still leading the way there, Joe Chilcott. Again, he's been playing for Burnie for a number of years now. Played all of his junior. I know he was formerly a Launceston boy, but junior basketball there, played his senior basketball there. Stalwart of the club.
So Bragg for 3, yes.
And that's uncharacteristic there, Mason Bragg. Not really a jump shooter, so to speak, a slashing guard, and that certainly probably wouldn't have been high on the scouting report for Mason Bragg.
So down in now Johnson inside the 30, but too many Penguin shirts there to peel that one off, and now Bragg with the play call as we come back down the floor.
Does look fit, doesn't he?
He does, Rick.
Always looks fit. He obviously is, but...
And quick.
He looks in great nick.
Absolutely. Now Augusta, Eden slows this one. Shot clock at 8 here, so Eden needs to get busy. Lob pass to Augusta for the mid-range 2, just long.
Richards being out-battled physically there, something you don't see very often.
No.
Brad Simpson is a big boy.
He certainly is, so Eden thinking about it. Looks at his options, splits the gap. Good pass to Beveridge for the 3, yes.
And just listen to the bench go. Torrey October is loving it. And this crowd is right into it too. As we mentioned, a lot of people from the Bass Highway coming up to watch this one.
Yes, no, it's great action here, and certainly one for the ages. Chilcott once again.
And stares at Joel Beveridge as he does it.
Anything you can do, I can do better.
That's right. 16 points for Joe Chilcott.
A game high there, team leading score as well.
So Bragg Just dead silent here for a minute. Eaton can't get that to go either.
Tell you what, a timeout might be in the books here for Mal Beveridge if another one of these drops, because momentum is seriously swinging in favour of the Tigers.
Yes, momentum absolutely swinging that way, as you say, JB. Simpson to join in the three-point. No, not necessarily. Gusta with the rebound. Richards up the floor here. Throws it down, a mini dunk.
Yeah, mini little finger. Ben Jessup likes it. Oh, raise the roof.
Yes. Meanwhile, Johnson here. Now Chilcott thinking about it, who's having a good first half. Puts it up, can't get it to go. Thurfy on the O board. Second try is, wow, how unlucky is that?
Pinball.
That is, well, I haven't seen that since Jared Week's reverse dunk back in the prelim final at the SCABL competition back in 2016. So Bragg slowing this one down. We ticked over halfway in the second quarter as we come to you from the Elfin Sports Centre here in Launceston. As Igusa puts up the two, can't get it to go, and then last touch by Burnie. So Eli French, Joel Beveridge going to come in here.
Fraser Eaton heading out, and Mal Beveridge wants that timeout.
Timeout. So timeout here. Penguin leaded by 2 currently at the moment.
Easy one. I mean, it was a bit unlucky, but really should be making those. He had a couple of attempts, not a lot of pressure.
We talk about it often, especially in basketball. You've got to capitalise on those second, third chances, and especially there, right at the rim, got to make them.
Yeah, it did everything but, really, didn't it? It just amazing, our sports sometimes, how that ball can just kind of go round, and then decide to just lip out there.
Well set up, though, isn't it? Heading into half-time, just under 5 minutes to go.
It is, yeah, and speaking to a few people before the game, Rick, it was, they were wanting a really close contest, and we're getting one right now.
Well, I know we got your prediction on Friday night, Ronald, as well. I think I don't want to reflect on history, but
oh, please do.
You did mention, I think it was in the men's semis yesterday, that the Glenorchy Spartans and Penguin Blues was going to be very, very tight. I think you predicted 4 points.
Yeah.
I reckon that was the opening minute. It was a 30-plus point margin.
It was. We couldn't believe what really happened out there. And you know, credit to Penguin. They put in a really good game plan. Glenorchy just had no answers whatsoever. I didn't think it was going to be that much of a blowout. On paper, it looked like it was going to be a close game, but reality was Penguin blew them out.
They did. It is good to have a bit of rivalry in the grand final, though, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Just adds a bit of spice.
And of course, all these players are familiar with each other, as we mentioned, Rick. And it might be best of mates off the court, but when they cross that white line, it's a whole different ball game out there, as you well know.
That's what we love about sport.
Yes. Truly play for the jersey.
Yes.
And I think that's, as you mentioned, Rick, with their passion, representing town, and I think that intertown concept of the Northwest is ultimately what helps that with their football, with their basketball.
Exactly the same.
Even soccer's the same up there now.
It is indeed.
Yes.
It's not very often that you actually see, certainly in local sports, see them playing for the jumper.
No, it's a sad thing. I love it. Need more of it.
Absolutely. And we're getting it somewhere today. Bragg with a sensational move to the basket.
And if you can just keep that head screwed on and just worry about the game and not have to chat with the opponents, that's the sort of thing you can deliver night in, night out.
Absolutely. French at the corner into Simpson. Simpson, tough look. Burnie wanted a foul. I don't think the referees were going to give one there as Bragg. Yeah, there's the Beveridge with that quick fake and then dribble floater is good for Joel Beveridge.
Uncharacteristic of Joel. Usually he's outside knocking the jumpers.
So French, ball getting moved around here. Chilcott into Simpson. So that's a quick 1-2 there, but nothing happening on that offensive phase. So we're coming back down the floor here through Bragg. We're just on near 3 minutes to go. Bragg decides to go for it. That's a bit long. Beveridge just flew through the clouds.
But I think he got a bit of assistance onto the baseline there.
Shorty Payne looking to come in. Meanwhile, Thurfy, nice move by the under-16 state representative and also the captain of the Tasmanian state
got the ball back.
Turnover made. Geordie Payne's going to come in for Brad Simpson, so we expect a quicker lineup here from the Burnie Tigers now with the lineup they've got, JB.
Truly running a small ball lineup. Young French there, just very confident, forcing that turnover there.
Yes.
Clever, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
And he's likely to stir the pot a little bit more.
He loved it too, didn't he?
Absolutely.
He did. On cue, he's got it for us now. Goes baseline. Charlie Beveridge threw a leg out there.
Yeah,
Chilcott from deep. Can't get that to go. Now Bragg up the floor. Has Igusta in support. Bragg goes solo and gets the use of a friendly roll.
A nice athletic move there. Got his legs in under him, which was safe, and landed down. Penguin now out by 5, but you can still sense there's no real momentum in this game so far.
No, it's a tight tussle here at the moment as Chilcott puts it to the floor. Now French into Payne, who's right place, right time to Furphy for the foul there, and he'll go to line for 2.
A little sore there, French. He's just going to the bench there. I don't know whether he's accidentally copped a low blow or whether he's got a bit of a strain there, but he's very sore.
Yeah, I think he's copped a low blow, I think,
that's not friendly at all.
No, certainly not. So Jacob Furphy at the line here for 2, and of course we mentioned a little bit about Jacob Furphy. Of course, he represented the state he represented Tasmania at the National Junior Under-16 Championships. Of course, captain of that bronze medal team who won it by a point. It was one of the games of the year I've watched so far this year.
Speaking of state juniors and
yes,
great players, Sire Dean's on screen there, standing in the tracksuit for the Jack Jumpers.
On our alternative monitor, by the way, JB, we'll just make sure. As Bragg brings it up the floor here. Of course, plenty happening today. The Jack Jumpers taking on the Brisbane Bullets currently at the moment. Foul on the play here at Eltham, and Bragg likes that one.
And he wants to get the crowd involved in it too.
Yeah, so there's a fair bit of gamesmanship happening here.
Yeah, and that looks like French is going to head to the bench.
So Keenan Johnson is coming in, third personal for French.
And what's had you running around the countryside for the weekend, Rick?
Well, it's one of those funny weekends, actually, where there's a...
As he gets the 2.
Basketball and working on the show, trying to get Monitor to see how it goes. Ronald Riggs rated very well on Friday night.
Oh, fantastic.
Would have been those 3 computers you got set up at home.
Meanwhile, Chilcott from Dean
that tells him about it.
Tells the Penguin bench a different story. Zach White loving it down there.
Zach hasn't been in the game since the first 2-3 minutes with a calf strain, and if he's got the shirt on, I don't reckon we're going to see him again.
No, we might have to get that clarified at half-time. Meanwhile, Gusta goes up rejected by Chilcott, who's involved in everything at the moment.
Can't miss a beat, and that is, as you'll see, a lot of the boys repping Movember here, Rick. Some fine mustakas on the squads on both squads.
Yes. Nicky D, he's always a little bit light on with him, Moe. He's very, very fair.
Meanwhile, Richards copped something there, but he recovered. Now goes for the 3. Just long on that one. Igusta with another O board. Bragg decides his luck, and it goes.
Tell you what, this crowd is right into it, and we had a hell of a final yesterday. Burnie Southern Wolves, this one is living up to expectations as well.
Absolutely. 6 points is our margin, and this game is a marathon at the moment. Who can finish strong? That's going to be the task here.
On the
Brad
floor.
Simpson.
They've waved the basket off. Pulford can't believe it. Simpson doesn't realise. I think he realises now.
So it's going to be on Jacob Richards, but Brad Simpson will go to line for 2. They waved off the basket.
Yeah, so the first foul was called as he was going up, and then he's had the second attempt.
So Brad Simpson, who's been around forever here, of course, before he came to Northwest Punda, he played with the Canberra Gunners back in the SCABL days, of course.
In his younger years?
In his younger years, and now...
He's not that Brad's that old, but...
No, but he's been around the league for quite some time as he knocks down the free throw.
Yeah, teacher on the Northwest Coast, and I mean, that adds to that community side you talk about as well, Rick, the fact that you've got people well invested into the community and taking part in sports teams and organisations.
Nice
what a
move.
drive.
Wow.
Well, Mason Bragg's just loving this at the moment. He's pumping himself up. He's really getting heavily involved.
Big minute 25 this for Burnie, actually. I mean, he's only 5, but I wouldn't want to let this get out to double figures at the break.
No, exactly right, Rick. And if you can keep within an arm's length, you're always a fighting chance.
I think it's similar in our previous game there. Launceston 22 down at quarter time. We're within 4 points heading into that break. Gave up 3 easy baskets, and that's all it wrote. Game got away from there.
So margin at 7 here. So Burnie, Joe Chilcott a little frustrated on what the players are doing on their set. Now, Downey Looking for Johnson here at the corner, so puts it to the floor, goes up, tough shot, and what a make by Keenan Johnson.
And they're the little things now. Burnie have to hit a stop, come down, hit a basket. Keep that energy.
Margin back at 5 here. Can Penguin respond in kind? So Bragg, thinking about his options, kicks it out. Augusta here at the corner for a long 2. No, make it a 3.
And listen to the response from the Penguin crowd as well.
So margin at 8 here as we're under a minute remaining before the major break. As Downey looking for his options. Now Chilcott decides to fire, and that's a bit too strong. So now Bragg hitting the floor off and running.
Nearly a double dribble.
Nearly.
I think they wanted a double dribble.
He slows this one down.
Young fella on the bench can't believe it wasn't called.
Shot clock and game clock about a 5-second differential here as Bragg slows it down. Shot clock at 10. Now Bragg, and a quick foul there on Downey for the 2 hands on.
And he'll go.
No, he's got one to give. So that's not a bad foul to give. Not a bad foul. And substitution. So Eli French coming back in for Geordie Payne.
Eli French is coming in.
So Beveridge to restart.
You mentioned about people hanging around after the coach's clinic. Josh Salter has not moved from next to that score bench, the Somerset coach.
Oh my, yeah, that's
having
correct.
a nice little scout.
Right. Interesting. Meanwhile, Richards. Now, Charlie Beveridge on the half-time buzzer. Augusta, that counts on the half-time buzzer for Ambrose Augusta. Right place, right time, and it's a 10-point lead for the Penguin Blues as we go to half-time.
Bit of a defensive lap there too, really. He was just there, wasn't he?
Yeah.
No pressure, easy.
And they're the little coach
that's
killers.
Critical, absolutely. You could see the frustrations on the bench there. Far too much space, and when you got set play, 10 seconds to go, shouldn't happen.
No, it's that is an absolute coach killer as we talk about, and Rick, you touched on it. You don't want that one to get out to 10 points. Well, the last thing you want to do is get out to 10 points with an energy-lifting play on the buzzer off a lapse of your own concentration. So, you know, big swing there. Burnie have a lot to do. I thought they had control of this game at quarter time, and half time now things are just, you know, they've had a couple of momentum plays. But Penguin right now back in control of this, a lot of energy. Mason Bragg, I think he's really recovered well. I think he showed why he is the player he is. 3 first quarter fouls, a technical, 2 fouls, you know, 3 total. All of a sudden, you know, sees the pine for most of the way. And then in that second term, essentially scored all 17 points there. A massive ride for him. Number 23 there, Ambrose Augusta as well. He's had 12, a couple of corner shots and some inbounding as well. Leading the way, Joe Chilcott, 19 for Burnie. And he's been knocking shots left, right and centre and telling people about it as well. He can really, really do it. But it's, yeah, it's going to be very interesting how that one goes as we pose for the camera, Ronnie.
Great.
There we go.
There we go. Lovely.
Great photography.
Very good.
Absolutely.
But, yeah, Joe's trying to do his thing. The Burnie boys are trying to contribute, but momentum heavily in the favour of the Blues now off that finish there. 10-point lead. It's going to take a lot for Burnie. As we said, though, they are well drilled, they are well structured, but it's going to take a lot for them in this second half with an energy, the energy coming out of the Penguin squad. The sixth man being the crowd that's come down the highway. Burnie, lucky, they've got some good supporters as well, but there's a very vast energy coming from that crowd as well.
Oh, absolutely. It's made for a great atmosphere here for our men's final as well too. So right now, it's been quite a good game, and yeah, as you mentioned, JB, it will come down to who can stay disciplined and who can stick with their structure and not allow things to get to their head, because yeah, there's a few mind games being played out there, that's for sure.
And I think as well, even though Penguin have got this lead of 10, they've got to be very mindful mentally, because with any rivalry, it's going to get physical. It's a grand final, and I think they're going to need to, if they're down at three-quarter time, Burnie, they're going to need to change something. And sometimes it's not always about the basketball. There might just be a little bit of niggle and maybe try to get under their teeth, skin a little bit. I think if it's under 10 at three-quarter time, it's going to be a humdinger of the last quarter. I just sense we might just see them trying to get into their head a little bit.
And we've seen that yesterday as well in the, I believe it was the Burnie game as well. It was just this rapid third quarter. Burnie come out, the Wolves come out, bang, 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 bang. You know, they're out by 10, then all of a sudden Burnie respond. You know, tie ball game, cracker last quarter, same sort of thing. Not as much motion, obviously north and south sort of thing, but with the crowd invested and knowing the attitudes and energy coming from these guys, this has been a good game of basketball so far. I don't actually think the 10 points does it justice to what sort of game it's been.
I agree.
Yeah.
And this was sort of the same as we said yesterday in our first semi-final. Kingborough and Penguin for 3 and a bit quarters was a 2-point ball game. Final margin of 24 didn't reflect the contest. I don't think 10 reflects it right now. Even though Burnie aren't ahead, I don't think they've lost great control. They've lost control, but not a great amount of it. Meanwhile, Penguin, energy, they're hitting their shots. Their bench guys are getting up and about. Everyone's contributing. It's just that small little lapse there that really will stick in the mind of Coach Bulford and the Burnie boys there to go, right, that double-digit lead came at our hands, not at their hands. It was our lapse, not their energy. And I think if they're going to work with that, saying that we're in control like that, mentally they'll be fine. As Rick said there, though, it is a grand final. It is the Northwest versus the Northwest. It's probably the biggest inter-town basketball rivalry, Burnie-Penguin, that there is. It's going to be a cracker of a third term. The premiership quarter, as they call it, Rick. And if it pans out how we think, it very well could be.
I think it's a very good summary, and it's going to be really interesting these first 3 or 4 minutes of the third quarter. It's only half a minute away.
Yes, it certainly is. And, yes, glad to have everyone's company here by the West Coast Sport Connection YouTube channel. That's where you can find all our games that we've covered. We've covered about now 20-something odd games.
Well,
now,
Rick, it was 9,
8,
6.
23. This is our 23rd
game
for State League this year.
Incredible. No, you guys do a mighty job for basketball, and I'm sure it's very, very much appreciated.
Yes, we had a few of the boys actually saying some of the comments and the clips. They trim them together and throw them in group chats and stuff like that. So always a bit of fun. Final scores. Brisbane Bullets beat the Jack Jumpers, 89-79.
Okay.
Not a bad first hit out in the pre-season game.
No. It's going to take a while, but they're only going to get better.
That's right, and we are underway here in the second half as Penguin control it, and Mason Bragg with the ball carrying duties. So now Joel Beveridge back on the floor too.
Yeah, we're back to starting lineups for both respective
Eaton with
squad.
the floater to get us going. Can't get that to go either. So French bringing it down the floor here. So both teams have gone to their original starting fives. There's Chilcott now with the ball carrying duties here. The crafty lefty.
Let's see what Burnie can get.
Now Simpson for 3. Yes, and that's the start that they needed.
Yeah, that's good. You can just sense that crowd a little nervous though. And I've seen Josh Salter there. He actually looks like he might be in the favour of Burnie in this particular game.
He could well be. Bragg for the response. Can't get it to go. Furphy and French combined for that rebound as we come back down the floor here for the Tigers. And French putting on some moves. Now the ball getting kicked around here. So Burnie looking for a good set on this one. They find French that goes baseline. Good pass into Furphy for the 2.
Great little breakdown there by the Tigers, finding Furphy inside. I know Penguin were really hoping they were going to jack up that 3, but that penetration dribble by Eli French changed that equation.
Margin back at 5 here as Burnie have put on a quick 5-sip run within the first 100-odd seconds. Meanwhile, Bragg finally gets the response there on that nice drive.
And that's the thing with Mason. Sorry, we're in transition quickly.
Yeah,
but
we certainly are. We'll see what happens. Ball getting moved around. Now ball down low to Simpson. One-on-one with Beveridge here. Simpson goes low. Turnaround J is not good. Now Beveridge with the rebound.
And just quickly here for Mason Bragg, it's going to be key for him to contain that energy. Keep doing what he's doing effectively, and that's attacking the rim. Don't settle for jumpers. There's guys out there that can definitely make those at a better clip.
So Bragg puts it to the floor.
There we
over
go.
His funded teammate in Joe Chilcott. Now Beveridge wants a foul. Referees didn't see it that way. They're allowing the play to continue. Now French working his way through. Here's Chilcott.
I think you'd agree here, Rick. That's
French for 3.
Whoa.
In and out on that one. And then Simpson working hard, and a foul on the play here.
He took a nice little bump there, Joel. I think he's all right. Just seeing what sort of attention he's going to get.
It's going to be on Simpson.
Will be on Simpson, but I think you'll agree there, Rick. The same thing with the refereeing. You've probably got a more partial view on this particular juncture, but I mean, it's good to see in a final like this that they're allowing the players to be a little more physical and only buzzing it when it is absolutely, too much, excessive.
Couldn't agree more. We touched on the physical nature at half-time. It's part and parcel of a grand final. If it's a clear foul, you call it, but a little bit of a bump here and there, just play on, as they say.
Joel Beveridge puts up the 3. It's a little bit long there, so Simpson with the rebound. Margin's all of a sudden gone back out to 9 here as Thurphy trying to put on some moves, goes up.
Oh.
Can't get that 2 to go. And then Bragg with the rebound. So Penguin off and running. Bragg has Richards in support, but too many Tiger jerseys to meet him there. So ball slowing down here as we get it through some sets of hands. Bragg with that nice little floater.
I tell you what, the elevation on that one there, he just hung in the air.
He just stayed there for a couple of seconds at least. Meanwhile, Chilcott. Now Simpson here, looking for French on the cut, doesn't go to him. Simpson goes himself, can't get that to go. Good defence by the Blues.
I think Burnie are trying to work their way to the line here. Get some fouls on the board for the Blues.
Bragg now to Richards low, one-on-one with Thurphy. He's Eaton, extra pass Beveridge. Now Eaton going for that drive, kick out. Bragg thinks about it, he'll go for the drive too, goes up and drew the foul.
Slid nicely into the padding there.
Loves a good slide, doesn't he?
He does.
Yeah, always get a bit worried, especially when you see the height though. Like, as long as they slide and don't stick, because that wood on concrete is not a friendly combination.
No, it's not.
Up to 21 points now, too. 3 personal fouls.
Yes, he opened his account with a personal foul, then a technical, then another personal foul, and sat most of that first quarter. So predominant of all that production's come in the best part of 13 minutes on the scoreboard, but it's been an electrifying 13 minutes.
So Bragg to make the second, makes 2 of 2.
Follow up too on Brianna Russell. Actually went off in that women's final because she thought she was going to vomit. Saw the scoreboard ticking over and felt no need to check back in again.
Fair enough. Well, that's not a bad excuse to have then, JB. Good to know. So Thurphy goes baseline here. That travel first. So Jacob Thurphy shuffling those feet.
Yeah, the kids with the mops wouldn't have liked that, would they? So probably fair call.
Yes, they're so used to watching that NBA style of putting it to the floor. JB.
Yes, no comment on that one. I thoroughly agree with you.
There we go. So Bragg slowing this one down. Quick horn set here by the Penguin Blues and pop out pass to Beveridge, to his other Beveridge.
Cheers.
Thank you, JB.
Finally got one in.
Bragg puts it to the floor and then that pass goes into the, over to the court announcer table, Charles Russell.
Every time you call Thurphy, you could say cheers too, really.
Well, more ideas.
You missed an
Thanks,
opportunity
Rick.
there,
I know.
Oh, cheers.
It's been a long 24 hours, Rick.
French from the corner for 3.
Will it drop?
No, just can't get it over that top iron. And goes back to Penguin.
There's 5:55 remaining, and unfortunately for Penguin, as much as they're throwing themselves at it, for Burnie, as much as they're throwing themselves at it, Penguin are holding steadfast. They've actually extended this lead out now by 1.
So Eaton, now Beveridge. Richards at the elbow. Back to Fraser, and we go here.
Some careless passing here by both sides.
A bit sloppy, but meanwhile, Beveridge, though, slides that 3 home.
Yeah, he's pretty happy with himself there. And he's an energy player, that's for sure.
Margin out to 14, the biggest lead we've seen so far in this ball game. Amos Augusta looking to check back in. Joe Chilcott for the response is short. Foul on the play, and it's going to be on Brad Simpson.
Yep, and Ash Thurston's telling him how it is.
Penguin supporters loving it.
Yeah.
nice little
standing applause almost there.
Oh, many a good story about the Burnie Penguin crowds in these NWBU games. I know of a friend of ours who played football on the weekend, broke his jaw wide up, played basketball on the Wednesday. He was playing for Penguin. This guy was playing for Burnie. 2 ref comp, spun round, bang, clocked him and brought the crowd on for him. Really look forward to it.
Dear. Well, there you go. Meanwhile, back in the ball game here at the Elfin Sports Centre, Penguin on a commanding 14-point lead at this point in time. So Bragg puts it to the floor.
Oh, step through.
Splits through a couple off glass, gets it to go. I think he wanted a call there. Simpson.
Yeah, got him on the body first.
Yeah, Richards there with body contact on the play.
Yeah, easy call to be made there. And they're just unfortunately the little things you've got to try and avoid. But for Burnie now, it's a 16-point margin. They had that ability to, they had it at 5, could have brought it to their own lead. It's that kind of, almost a 20-point swing in a sense of where the game could have been versus where it is.
So Brad Simpson back of the line here for 2. It's that one to rattle home first. Still a long way to go in this ball game, though. I mean, 4 minutes 50 to go.
In the third.
If they can get a late run here, you'd think Burnie would, still be in that arm's length of what we were talking about earlier.
Must be some great one-liners out there. Nicky Draper's there just waiting and laughing his little head off there. Someone had a little whisper to him in his ear, and it's good to see.
Yeah, we often we don't have him mic'd up.
No, we don't have him mic'd up today, Rick.
Very unfortunate. Would have been very entertaining.
No.
we had to stop turning the mic up yesterday.
He
from
talked too much.
The player banter.
No, yes. Ooh. No call on the play there, Furphy and Beveridge. And French knocks down the 3. And we're back to a 13-point ball game.
And Joel Beveridge does not agree with that one. I don't know whether I saw a flop warning from Ash Thurston's or not. I was a bit blindsided there.
We will soon find out the next topic potentially. Bragg calling up Richards. Now Beveridge decides to fire and can't get that to go.
Joe Chilcott just wanting to get back on this game again. And for Burnie, they need to get back to their structure. They're discombobulated and they're playing too much isolation ball.
So Charlie Beveridge are going to check back in. Now Furphy down low here. Kick out. This ball getting moved around here. Shot clock at 10 here for the Tigers. Chilcott puts it to the floor. Nice drive by Joe Chilcott. And a blocking foul being called on Mason Bragg. That is his 4th personal foul.
It is his 4th foul. And I'm just seeing what the communication there. He's telling everyone to sit down. And they're going to pull him off. He's going to sub him out. Mason wants to be trusted with it, but again, he's too vital for everything he's put in this game in the last 16, 17 minutes. Essentially sat the first quarter with foul trouble. He's their lead scorer with 25. He's clearly the best player on the floor right now. While it's not good he's on the bench, it's better that he has a spell now than permanent sit for the rest of the game.
Absolutely. I think it's a wise move by Coach Beveridge as well too. So, as much as the players... they wear their heart on their sleeve. I think that's smart coaching. As Chilcott knocks down the 2nd. So we're back to 11 points now here, 3 and a bit to go.
You're right, it's good coaching because it's very easy to think Mason Bragg is telling you, mate, just calm down, sit down. Coach is in charge. It's about the team, and he's definitely going to be needed. And if they can keep this lead at around 10 without him on the floor, it's going to hold him in good stead.
Absolutely. Spot on, Rick, as the ball goes out of play here. That's going to be Penguin ball, last touch by the Tigers.
Just a shout out too, by the way, to our cameraman Felix. He's been working big time this weekend, putting up with Ronnie and myself. So
yes.
Shout out for all the work he's putting in there.
He's doing a good job. Richards can't get the 2 to go. Ball with Chilcott. Let's see what Burnie can do. Good hands by Joel Beveridge though. And now the ball quickly up the floor here for Augusta.
He's relishing that pest roll at the moment as Mal Beveridge is going to ask for a timeout.
Yep, that might be a wise move, actually, I think. Charlin Beveridge for 3. Can't get that to go. And then the other Beveridge trying to fly through the window.
On a break here.
Furphy down the other end gets the 2 to go. Margin back to 9. 61-52 as we go to a timeout here.
Yeah, good timeout there by Mal Beveridge. Again, this one actually, this one back to 9. And, again, it's going to be... basket by basket by basket for the last 3.
Don't look up, Rick.
Jeez, I hope not. Oh, it's the last thing I need a downpour while we're sitting here.
I can feel a few drops.
Oh,
no. Could be in trouble here. But yeah, 9-point margin, 3 and a bit to go here in the 3rd term. Penguin leading this one at 61-52. Mason Bragg, the big story, once again, back on the pine. He's got 4 fouls, but he has been the best player in this game, albeit the limited minutes he's had. Zach White will, by the looks of it, be taking no further part in this game. He is done and dusted with that calf strain. So, another tick in the box too for Penguin to show how well drilled and deep they are. That pretty much the best defensive player almost in Tasmania, sitting on the pine, not playing any minutes. Meanwhile for Burnie, starting to recompose themselves. I thought they went away from some structure there for a little bit. I thought they were playing too much isolation, too much me, and not enough about the team. They started moving the ball, crashing the boards, running out in their breaks, passing the basketball again, getting it moving, getting the defender's head on a swivel. They're starting to execute better, and this is what all of Sam Pulford's teams have looked like the last couple of seasons. So it's good to see them getting back into it as well. And it'd be interesting to see Mason Bragg now back on the floor here too, Rick. So it's going to be interesting to see what they're trying to keep on Mason here for these last 3 minutes of the 3rd.
Element of risk, but just sense Burnie. I think you're right. They sense they're a big chance in this still. Massive 3 minutes.
Bragg goes up for the 2 and gets it to go.
And there's the response, and that's the answer he needed straight away to come into this game.
Now Bragg got it again after Beveridge able to pick that one off, and Now all of a sudden we're back out to that 11-point margin once again. So Bragg for back-to-back floaters.
And that's the kind of answer you want. You want show the coach that you can trust me. Comes in, and all of a sudden this game's from 9 to 13 once again, and he is proving a massive difference.
Just a quick swing here. Ben Jessup's got to looking to check in, and those bright pink shoes once again take to the floor. So French now puts it to the floor himself. Now Johnson in turn to French once again here. They're all lining
good
up.
Passing.
Furphy down low. Nice work by the young fella, but couldn't get the two to go. Ball goes out of play. Substitution. Ben Jessup coming in for Jacob Richards, and Josh Downey is going to come in for, it looks like it's going to be Eli French.
Yeah, Eli French taking a break there as Downey comes in, and Downey's not afraid to get under the skin of the opponent either, Ronnie. We saw him and Thierry Masunda with a very, nice battle yesterday.
Yes, it was a very good battle yesterday. That was a fun one to watch as well too. Great to see Ben Jessup getting some court time here in this game as well too.
Oh, Mason Bragg.
Rejected by Furphy. And good work by the young fella there as the Tigers have the ball and they come back down the other end of the floor here. And then Chilcott lost it, and Matt Bragg got it. Igusta has Simpson to beat. Goes up, couldn't get that to go as he flew to the ground. Now Johnson, here's Furphy. Chilcott for three. Sure. Just off.
There's that energy.
Downey with the O board as we continue on here. And quick play. Chilcott finding his way through. Johnson, Downey, and that's a travel.
Yeah, a couple of extra steps there. And that's a technical for tossing the ball away. And you can just see...
And the boys are getting into it, and everyone needs to get a cool head here.
Yeah, and I can just sense too, Downey's going to be a pest. He acts as a pest, but unfortunately, two of the better pests in basketball, in Ambrose and Augusta and Beveridge, they're very hard customers to crack, but they know how to get under their opponent's skin.
They certainly do. As Beveridge misses the technical free throw. So we go to the
last... good couple of minutes, this, is it, for Burnie?
No, it's just swung back again, back to Penguins' favour. It's just, when you thought they had another good run, it just goes all south once again.
You'd love a good pest in sport, wouldn't you, Rick?
Yeah, there's a few about, I can tell you.
I reckon he's interviewed a few.
Someone I thought would have been annoying was one of the best interviews I've ever done, actually. But
there you go.
They shall not be named.
I know, don't mind, because he doesn't live here. He lives in Scotland. So
Jessup for three. Can't get that to go.
And Andy Murray. He's the biggest pest you've ever seen. He just looks like one of these south-faced guys on the tennis court all the time. Wonderful fella. One of the funniest blokes I've ever met in sport.
Well, there you go.
Hilarious guy.
That's the first.
Great fella.
Beveridge for three at the corner. Just long on that one. Furphy able to pick that one up and off and running as Downey and Johnson in support. Uses Downey. And now and Simpson wanting something there as far as the ball was concerned. Downey now with it once again as we're ticking on the final minute of the third quarter. Nice
the dump pass. Down. Good defence there by Jessup.
I think Burnie, the crowd loved that. It was great defensive play there. Yeah. Meanwhile, Bragg, Beveridge for the three. Yes.
And just look at the transition, offense to defense, energy, execution. They're back out to a 16-point lead.
That's a coach killer too, isn't it?
It is.
5-point turnaround there.
I'd hate that if I was coaching right now. It just that kills you right there. So ball getting moved around. Downey fake. Now Furphy got Bragg up the floor. Simpson. And drew the foul on Ben Jessup.
Just not falling, are they?
No.
They're just not falling for them.
And it is just a little thing like that where that little bit of body contact, if that just drops, the energy of seeing that come through and we're back into it again. Hit this basket, get a stop. Whereas Penguin right now, there's a potential that Simpson misses one of these. They can come down and get a score. There's that first miss.
Simpson misses the first. So... Let's say crucial free throws here, but that first one definitely crucial in context of this ball game. Second one's good. So 15 the margin here as we go final play. Shot clock is turned off, so Bragg will slow this one down here as we get to the end of the third. So must be a bit of an isolation play here. Bragg decides to go for it, in and out on that one, and a foul here. Who's that going to be assessed on? Seeing what the call is. That's going to be on Ben Jessup. So he's picked up two quick fouls. So Fraser Eaton looking to check in. Mason Bragg is going to come off.
And that's also not bad either. I mean, it's 1.3 seconds. The last thing you do is want Mace to foul on this closing play and sit the fourth.
So Eli French is going to come in for Brad Simpson.
Running that small ball lineup.
Yes.
They want to get their shooters. We've still got some size on the floor in Furphy.
So Chilcott to restart. 1.3 remaining. Downey has to throw one up. That's way right. And that will finish us off here for the third quarter. So three-quarter time sees Penguin hold on to a 15-point lead as we go into the last.
Yeah, that coach killer to end the second half. They look like they recovered a little bit there. But again, the impact player of this game, Mason Bragg, he's got 29 points on the board. Nearest teammate has 12. But Mason bringing it at both ends of the floor. It's just that athleticism. You know, the coach trusted him. Put him back out there in the fourth again. Probably been a bit of a pest. Get me on, get me on. Comes in, makes a basket, makes another basket, gets a stop. Team starts hitting threes. The energy is all with Penguin there. We spoke about it. They're probably the best basketball club in the state, the better part of a decade, men's and women's. They're showing it right now, rolling on the way to a third state league title in 4 years.
Absolutely. I'll just quickly, Rick, go for it. I'm just going to quickly do some research.
Doesn't matter what sport it is. When you're playing from behind, you're playing catch-up. Perceived pressure builds up. You know, mentally, you know you've got to score, and we just saw it there at the free throw line. It's so difficult when you're playing catch-up the whole game, virtually. So it's going to be a massive mountain to climb for Burnie in this last quarter. It's hard to see it happening, but it's not insurmountable. 15 points in 10 minutes, but they must start well, like they did in the third quarter. They scored the first 5 points, got it to within 5, but Penguin able to get away. The key will be Mason Bragg, as you said, outstanding. 29 points to three-quarter time, dominant player on the court. What are they going to do? They're going to play him for the 10 minutes. Are Burnie going to try and, get that fifth foul and get him out of the game? I think you've got to concentrate on your own game rather than worrying about an individual. But massive. The first 2 or 3 minutes will tell, but not out of it, but hard to see.
Hard thing too, Ronnie, as we talk about, okay, you're 15 down, but you've got to look at it in the grand scheme of things. Have we seen enough out of Burnie today to suggest that they can outscore Penguin in a quarter by 16 points? Because that's ultimately their goal in this quarter, is to outscore Penguin by 16 points. And with the firepower that Penguin have in their squad, I don't see it happening.
No, I don't see it happening either. But really, though, they're going to have to be really disciplined on the defensive end. And then they're going to have to hit every shot they've got. The last time Penguin won the double, which is women's and men's, 2017.
It was 2017.
It was when they last won the double. And they're on track to do it again here in 2021.
Are they the only club to have a state league double?
Yes. I can tell you that.
Yeah,
yes.
That would make sense.
Yes. So Penguin have got the ball as we come down the floor. Burnie had a shot there and missed that one. So Bragg here puts up that floater once again and can't get that 2 to go. And now Beveridge with the rebound.
And here's these second chance opportunities that Penguin have actually scored on for a lot of this game.
So Beveridge decides to fire and gets it to go from downtown.
Yeah, there it is. That makes it an 18-point ball game. So again, you've now got to look at Burnie. They've got to outscore Penguin by 19. They've only put 53 on the board. That's a big ask.
So Chilcott puts up a tough shot, can't get it to go. Eden with the rebound as we come back down the floor. Here's Bragg.
Tell you what, he's got bragging rights in this contest, 29 points.
He certainly has. Beveridge, Bragg into, well, geez, that was ambitious, I thought. Beveridge there.
That's one way to describe it.
Yes, Bragg for 3, yes.
He is on fire and
he's loving it. He is up and about for someone that's on 4. For someone that's on 4 fouls, this game has just swung like no tomorrow. But I tell you what, Mason Bragg is proving why he's one of the premier players in this state.
Crowd are going nuts too, aren't they? 32 points he's up to. They're loving it. Do you reckon Burnie will pull over in Penguin tonight to get some takeaway?
I don't reckon.
No, I don't think so.
They'll be looking for the Golden Arches just opposite the, just down on the waterfront there, I reckon.
As Bragg slows this one down once again. Another O board for the Penguin Blues, who have done well on the offensive boards in this game. So Bragg, kick out pass. Beveridge puts it to the floor. Floater goes up. Beveridge tried to initiate a bit of contact there. Wasn't getting a call. And then Downey just loses the handle and quickly regained it. Now he has to work to get over the timeline, and does.
Jeez, he's quick.
Chilcott from deep just can't get that to go either. So both teams training some baskets. And yes, Josh Downey has definitely got some pace on him, boys. That is for sure.
And Mason Bragg just owning the floor at the moment, isn't he? He really is just controlling this game, the tempo of the game, let alone the scoreboard. 32 points.
So on cue, he's got it for us now. He kicks it out to Beveridge.
Not
for
again.
3. And
Tell you what, that would have been a big cheers.
It would have been. Downey into Johnson for the 2. He short-armed it on that one. And now Bragg slowing this one down here. So margin at 21 here, 7.5 to go in this last quarter.
You mentioned that tempo there, Rick. Like
And there'll be a foul on Johnson.
Just the tempo, the ability to, know when the energy's up, when they need to go, when he needs to curtail it, when they need to run a set, when they need to get the ball through sets of hands. He's been the man, and as we spoke about, essentially didn't hit the scoreboard in the first quarter. Brad Simpson's hit the deck there, and, to put 32 points on in essentially 22 minutes, 23 minutes of basketball.
And
that was
an
ambitious.
Foul. Brad Simpson tried once, no go. Tried twice, success.
I haven't seen anyone try that since Blake Griffin about 10 years ago.
There you go.
But Jacob Richards was nowhere near throwing that one down. That was ambitious at best, and easy call to make. But Penguin out to 21 points here, and this is just unbelievable, the way they've played this game, Rick.
They've been absolutely magnificent. Shout out to a good mate of mine who's watching the live stream. Just sent me a message. Rick Anderson. He's in neutral territory though. Lives in Ulverston.
Oh, there you go.
So safe.
There you go. That would be. I'm trying to work out who's Damon Kingshot. I reckon's got us going there. We've got. We've got Damon on the live stream. We had the Burnie camera. We're on record.
We're on delay here. Yes.
But no, that's good. Good shout out. That's excellent. Yeah. No, it's been a good contest, and
it has.
Now Downey with it here, and heavily or closely guarded by Eden Bragg. Beveridge picked that one off. Eden's got it, off and running. Now Bragg, nice showtime pass into Richards for the 2.
And they are just doing as they please here, Penguin. This is blacktop sort of basketball right here now, street ball for fun.
Chilcott for the response, can't get it. Simpson for the tip, yes, and the foul. It's going to be assessed on Fraser Eaton.
And the crowd went mild for that one. Nice little shot, though, by Brad Simpson.
Well, to the right of the screen, the people are watching, it's very, very quiet over there. And back in the day, I used to see this a bit at football in the day, that when fans used to leave about 10 minutes into the last quarter and they'd start to walk out, all the other fans would stand up and just give them a nice wave.
Well, there you go.
They head to the car park.
Something tells me
no sign of that just yet.
I reckon things could get a little volatile if that starts, Rick.
We could start something.
Well, the exit door's right there, and they've got to go past all the Penguin fans while they do it.
They really picked the wrong grandstand to sit, yes. Someone might open that roller door.
They may well do.
Not a bad idea.
Meanwhile, Eden with it now. He'll go back to Beveridge for 3. Just a bit strong on that one as Chilcott with the rebound. And we come back down the floor here. March is still with that 21 point. You make that 19 thanks to a Joe Chilcott layup.
Yeah, Joe's been pretty consistent all 4 quarters here for Burnie. He's stood up for them most of the tournament as well, and I thought he was pretty unlucky not to make the All-Star 5 for the competition.
Yes, I agree with that one, JB. He should have been in that starting All-Star 5 for sure. Meanwhile, Bragg with another floater.
Forget the score. It's been a really entertaining game, hasn't it?
Yes, it certainly has been, Rick. There's a lot on offer. 30 for 3, yes.
And a couple of a little bit more signs of life there from the Burnie fans. 18 points. It's a lot to ask, but I mean, Penguin have the advantage too. If they want to milk every 24 seconds on their shot clock, then they can.
Penguin deciding to slow this one down. Shot clock now at 11. Here's Bragg, goes for it. Try to go to Beveridge on the pass, wasn't there. French off and running. And then Joel Beveridge flicked that one out of here. Need to run out of real estate. Sam Pulford a bit frustrated, so he's called timeout. We'll talk to the troops. 5:21 remaining here in the 4th.
Yeah, 18-point margin here. Penguin with the lead, and they're not looking like they're going to drop that lead either. There's some of the regulars there on the bench. Toure October, Stafford, Jessup. Zach White obviously still with that calf issue. It doesn't look like he's got any ice on that anymore, but he will not be taking any part in that game. And again, if you'd have ruled Zach White out of this game at the start of it, I don't think we would have been predicting such a blowout margin. But I mean, again, that's just a credit to the way Penguin are and a big credit to Mason Bragg and the way he's controlled this game.
Yeah, absolutely. He shows time after time that, you know, if anyone was to ever write him off, I don't think he could, because he's just proven that he can go another level. He can prove that he can take your team to another level. And he's talking in that huddle right now as well too. He's just one of those true leaders of this ball club, and he's shown why today. So, both teams just about to come out of the huddle. Sam Pulford there talking to his troops. Obviously, they'll make some adjustments and try to make one more run at it. If they can get it back within some single digits here, might make things interesting for us. But as Rick mentioned, the game has been good to watch regardless. There's been a lot of action and good atmosphere involved in this game so far. Perfectly not ready for that one. Bragg off and running, has French to beat and gets the 2 to go.
And Mason's not afraid to tell the young fella that he's still the king of the castle on this floor.
Matched him with pace too, really, didn't he?
Yes, French from downtown. Not there.
That's one way to describe it.
Yes.
Oh, dear.
So Bragg bringing this one down. Margin at 20 now. I think we're... I want another minute here before I call it.
Oh, Ronald.
No, let's call it now.
Seriously?
Let's call it now. Come on. All right, Bragg puts it up. Make it. No. Can't get it to go. I wanted to say make it 22, but we still stayed at 20 here.
Good defence by Beveridge.
So Beveridge off and running, and there'll be a blocking foul on Simpson, which will be Brad's 4th, I think.
I'm looking for 15. Yep.
Yeah,
4th foul.
So
16 points. Being a bigger body as well, and I reckon his game was a bit thrown as well when Zach White went out, because he's how he would have gone into this game preparing was certainly not how he had to deliver
point,
it.
You know, because quite often you might see the stars go out, but you base your game plan around them playing and taking part, and it could have thrown their game plan out a little bit.
True.
And they haven't been able to adjust.
No.
You know, and probably also the other throw on that, you know, Mason sat the first quarter. He's got 4 fouls. You know, they're probably planning on not seeing many minutes out of him as well. So to then try and adjust your coaching on top of that, it's a lot of factors there. But, I mean, Penguin are just, as we mentioned, so well drilled.
So play restarts here as Bragg now. And again, and that'll be a foul on Mason Bragg, and I think that's going to be his 5th.
And it is.
Yep. So he's out of the game. Mason Bragg has done a phenomenal effort, though, fouling out with 36 points in this ball game.
And the Burnie fans have shooed him off
that.
the Burnie fans
there in the back
waved
row.
him off the floor. And he's just telling them to be quiet. now.
Love it.
That's tremendous.
Absolutely love it.
That,
Oh,
jeez Louise.
Bit of a shake of the head from the gentleman next to those 2 ladies as well.
Yes, meanwhile, Chilcott
I don't
knocks
know.
down the 3 and it takes out the security barring down there.
I think oh God.
Yes, he's just taking that out.
I think the question is, who is that gentleman shaking his head at? Rick?
Yes, that's right.
It's an answer I'm not going to try and find either.
Augusta into Richards for the 2.
Simpson's got to be careful as well. He's on 4 fouls, and last thing that Burnie want is to just have this one blown out.
Chilcott for 3.
Okay.
Yes.
Hello, Joe. We know who you are. It's a nice shot there by Joe, and again, he's been consistent performing. I mean, he's about to have 30 himself, but
Well, he's at 28 at the moment, Joe.
unfortunately, there's not too many paying customers on this ride that Joe's taking Burnie on.
Certainly. So Augusta, now Beveridge for 3. Can't get that to go either. So French bringing up the floor here, 3.5 to go as Furphy, the youngster, now down here. Ball getting moved around once again. Chilcott, and that's an offensive foul for an illegal screen.
Yeah, Furphy not really liking it. Beveridge has hit the deck 4 or 5 times. If I drop that many beverages in an hour and a half, I'd have to call a taxi.
No pun intended.
But no, that's a big hit there by Furf, and he's not a small lad either.
No, he's not.
Scary. Did you say under 16s?
Yeah.
My God.
He's a kid. He's definitely one to watch for the future,
Big
JB.
time.
I'm telling you right now.
Watched him play 3-on-3 at the start of this year. It's tremendous in that format.
Chilcott with the skates. Can't get the layup to go. Deserved the layup, though, as JB would say. Downey. Now back to Chilcott.
Good recovery by Richards.
3 is no good, and ball goes out of bounds.
So Jacob Richards with 4 fouls as well. He's still in this game. It's 12 points contributing with Ambrose Guster as well.
So ball getting moved down here as we're pretty much nearing chunk time. I'll be interested to see if Mal Beveridge...
Stepped out of bounds.
Yep.
Yes, that's an out-of-bounds play. I'll be interested to see if Mal Beveridge empties the bench and we'll see, say, Torrey October and Josh Stafford come into the game.
Love to see Torrey in there, but I feel that he would be the one that's going to bring more energy.
Yes. French for 3. Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, nice little shot there by French, and again, it's back to 14.
Ronald Riggs getting a little nervous that he called it too early.
Oh, no, we don't need this.
Five 3-pointers.
Oh, I'd look forward to the next our next segment on Talking Sport. It's going to be riveting.
Might have to make it next week.
Oh, here we go. Meanwhile, Eden from downtown can't get it to go. And then good work by... Oh, geez.
Oh,
okay.
Furfer saved that and got out of bounds.
Good work by Furphy to get involved in that one. 2:08 remaining here.
There goes Mr. Salter. He's seen enough.
He's off and running. Yeah. So he's out of here.
Any waves?
No.
No, he's the Somerset coach.
Yes.
He gets a thumbs up from the Penguin crew, though.
Beveridge can't get the 2 to go.
Now, crucial 2 minutes. It's going to be massive if they can pull anything out here.
And that's a foul on Eaton. So that's Fraser's second personal for today. Timeout by Coach Mal Beveridge.
And that's a smart little stem as well. I mean, they were getting out 20-plus points there, and it's just a smart way to stem the bleeding a little bit, reassess and lock in for these last couple of minutes. 82-68. Penguin potentially, well, certainly in the lead and favourites at this point for everything. And you can just see Joel Beveridge in the huddle there telling him to calm down. And we noticed this in the women's game, Ronnie. Yeah. Just the fact that the coaches are willing to sit there and listen to their senior teammates, or their senior players. You know, they've got the feel on the court. They're amongst the game. They're amongst all the energy. They're amongst all of it. Penguin are a very reciprocal. You know, they listen. They take the input and they mix it up into their game plan. Because as their coaches said, at the end of the day, players are out the floor and they know what's going to work there. And again, I think that's another big contributing factor to their success.
Yeah.
Very proud club, very successful club, and congratulations to them. They've had another great year.
They certainly have, and just a small town, but just such a strong association. You know, being around at their stadium a few times before, Rick, and just seeing the people that are involved and how they go about it. You know, it's a credit to Greg Miller and, of course, his board at the Penguin Basketball Association. And they do a terrific job. And always very nice to us when we come down, JB.
Of course, we've got a few connections, former West Coasters we are. A few West Coasters move up to the northwest and find Penguin and Ulverston to be their landing spots, and a lot of their children are playing juniors with them. So nice little drive by Eli. Couldn't get it to fall.
And Simpson will get that one to go.
Now we're going to see who's this one is on. Scores are good.
Yeah. It's going to be on Ambrose Augusta.
That'll be his third, but... Yeah, no, it's good to have a club like that has that culture right from the junior level right through to your senior level. It just continues to breed amongst itself.
Well done to the fans too. It would have been very easy to maybe head down to Hobart today and see a bit of history, or watch it at home on KO, but no.
Burnie wanted a double dribble there.
Supporting the local basketball, which is great to see.
And considering the weather, they could have stayed home too.
Yep.
Absolutely. Meanwhile, Augusta down the other end gets the 2 to go.
Yeah, nice little play there by Ambrose.
So
Joe.
Burnie got to push it here and get the quick triple. So now Burnie applying some pressure up the floor here very quickly. And now Chilcott dumped that one down, but then recovered there. So, that could be all she wrote, I think.
Yeah, well, the idea was there, tip it down to Simpson.
So Augusta slows this one down. Here's Augusta once again into Richards and draw the foul on Furphy.
Yeah, it'd be Furphy or French, definitely Furphy. That'll be his second foul. And he's contributed nicely as well, 12 points for the young fella. And again, good learning experience for these young kids, going up against the premier local basketball team in the state. They will only be better for it. And especially some of those young guards, I think they'll take a fair bit of an education from what Mason Bragg's provided for them today.
Absolutely.
Essentially 25 minutes of basketball, 36 points. Massive, massive game for him.
French for a 3, just short on that one. And then Beveridge with the rebound. As we're under a minute now in this ball game. As Penguin need to get over the timeline. And a poor pass. So Chilcott, now French once again from downtown. Can't get that to go. Igusta, and that will be that's an unsportsmanlike foul on Joe Chilcott.
Yeah, it was a take foul, but definitely unsportsman. He just caught him for the hold. Joe has quietly, I don't think he realised.
No.
Poor old Firth told him. He just politely spun round, and he would just get the conversation there. It's, as we talk about, it's not necessarily the intent at times, it's the action. And if the action is not, basically making a play on the ball, his intent was to grab him by the jersey. It's not very sportsmanlike.
No, certainly not. So definitely an unsportsmanlike foul. So ball will come back to Penguin now at the 3-point line. So 41.7 as we'll go through the motions here. And it will be back-to-back for the Penguin Blues. As they won it last year. And that's a quick foul on Furphy. And that will send Ambrose Igusta to the line, who's had a nice season back home here. Has come back from Melbourne, where he was playing with the Nunawading Spectres back in the old SEABL format. And then unfortunately had a knee injury that ruled him out for a year, and then has come back, played with the Hobart Chargers this year in the NBL 1 South competition. Has thrived on his opportunity under head coach Anthony Stewart, but great to see him playing some basketball up here on the northwest coast as well too. As he knocks down the second, that will be Ambrose's 17th point of the game as well too. Furphy goes up, rejected by Richards, and Penguin to get it back. So good defence there. As they want to see if they can make it a 90.
Yeah, you'd think they'd crack it on their form.
Absolutely. We thought at one stage they might be on target for 100.
Yes, thought the century was going to come up, but not to be.
Yep, so 31.0. Burnie still playing this out there in a kind of a 2-1-2 coverage. Foot violation there. We'll see shot clock reset once again to a full 24. Can you hear pin drop here? It's gone dead silent around the court.
Yes, just delaying the inevitable, I feel.
Yes, absolutely. So, and then good pressure there by the Tigers, and they get it back. So French off and running. Downey goes for three now. Oh, missed everything. Simpson with the save, and then that was
kept it in.
That's legal. And French for a shot, can't get that to go. And that will do it, as Penguin will go back-to-back in the State League. And a convincing win here at the end by 16, and done a terrific job. I'm going to go down and MC the presentations. JB and Rick, I'll leave it up to you boys.
Yes, we'll give it a summary. And, well, Rick, it was the Mason Bragg show for most of that one, but Burnie tried to put in a bit of a fight here or there, but just the composure and the depth of Penguin getting it done here. An entertaining game of basketball. 16 points. Scoreline probably doesn't justify the entertainment value of it, but a good spectacle and a good finish for the last senior game of basketball in Tasmania for 2021.
Yeah, very good summary, JB. Look, it's I guess Mason could have ended up with half a century if he didn't end up with foul trouble early and then going out of the game sort of midway through that final quarter. But they had injuries as well to deal with. It's a great team performance from the Penguin Blues, and thoroughly deserved going back-to-back. But look, Burnie, very entertaining to watch. Got some, what I like about it is they've got some good players on that bench and some good young talent. They look very fast, and it just shows how strong that Northwest Coastal basketball is as well, and what we've got coming on down the Northwest Coast. Very exciting for 2022, and hopefully, particularly for the North and Northwest Coast, a full NBL 1 season next year, because they've been starved of it here. Obviously down south predominantly, we got the Jack Jumpers to look forward to with a couple of games up here, but it's brilliant, and I just hope Tasmanians get behind basketball in general. This rubbish of the north and south and all this nonsense, it's a bit tiresome. Yeah,
if they could just get over the idea, at the end of the day, there are cities on the mainland with more people than are on our great island state, and the more we unite, the better we will be. I'll just turn this up for the great man, Ronald. Did he take that microphone with him? No, he didn't, so it's not going to matter. Keep him there.
as well too. Great game of basketball being played. Commiserations to Burnie, but a hell of a job by you guys throughout the State League season to make it this far. We've a nice young group. There's a lot of potential going forward, so I wish you the best of luck in the future. Yes, please. Thank you. To the Penguin boys, you guys have shown once again why you are the top team in this state. You've just gone back to back once again, winning it last year, now winning it again this year. An unbelievable display of basketball I saw, and you know, fantastic job by you guys. I'm absolutely in awe of how you guys play. Well done. And now I'd like to call up the head coach of the Burnie Tigers, Sam Pulford, to say a few words.
Just congrats to Penguin boys, you've been the benchmark of men's basketball in the state the last 4 or 5 years. So congratulations to you. Thanks to everyone who came and watching. And our guys we're proud of the way we played, average age of 17-ish. Okay, the year the grand final against a group of men. Really proud of that. Thanks.
And while you're here, Sam, you can accept the runners-up mark on behalf of the team. So your runners-up for the 2021 State League, the Burnie Tigers. I'd now like to call up the head coach of the Penguin Blues, Now Beveridge, to say a few words.
Yeah, thanks to Taz again for putting on such a great roster. To Sam and the Burnie guys, you've got a great group going there, a lot of future ahead of that group, and especially when you've got some leaders like Brad and Sheila to help guide those guys. The future is pretty bright for you guys there. And obviously, you're going to be around for a few more years yet, and then we'll end it. Gone, so just stay together and keep working hard and get there. Okay, so to the crowd, thanks for everyone turning up. To the Penguin girls, congratulations on winning the state championship. It's been a great day for the club. To my guys, I couldn't ask more of this group. I really enjoy not only coaching them, but being around them as a friend and someone who enjoys their company. So I think that's a big part of why we keep moving forward as a group. And yeah, well done to you guys, and we'll celebrate tonight. Thanks, Ron.
Fair to say the Penguin club rooms down at the Penguin Basketball Stadium will be going off. Isn't that right, France? Yes, okay, very good. All right. The captain, I'm assuming, is Mace or Joel? One of the boys. It's going to be Joel? All right, Joel, come on up here. You can accept the puck. And of course, the Tim Williams shield. Well done.
First of all, well done to our girls team, by the way. You guys played really well today, so well done. Brad, Chilla, I love you guys. Play with those kids, you guys do a really good job, so good effort. You guys are really going to be excellent. Thanks, B-Taz. Thanks to the refs. You guys, we give you hell, but we do like you, and we can't play without you, so thanks. And cheers, Greg. Thanks.
Well said, Joel. Well said. So our champions for the 2021 B-Taz State League, the Penguin Blues.
And Rick, that will pretty much just wrap us up. That will be the end of State League for 2020. What Ronnie says there, he's just directing traffic there, but that will do us for State League 2021. Finished on a high note, a nice energised game of basketball, Penguin with the double, and not a bad way to end the season for 2021.
Tiny little township Penguin, and they punch above their weight in a lot of different sports, so great victory for them. Well done to the men's and women's teams. 2021 State Basketball League champions.
Big thank you to yourself for popping in and having a call with us and having some fun. It's great to have you on.
That's what sport's about.
It's always great to meet the man who calls him Ronnie Biggs. We haven't met the great man for a while.
Never lived that down.
It's about the only thing we can hang stuff on you, mate. It's been good to have you in. It adds a lot of credibility to what we do, to have someone come in that actually knows what they're talking about and help us out. So thank you once again.
You do a great job. Well done to both of you.
That'll do us then. That is the end of State League 2021. Your men's and women's champions, the Penguin Blues.